Sun Garden Bay. White caps out there. Portola behind us.
That's St. Thomas or St. John there? It's St. Thomas.
St. Thomas, I think. It's Joost Van Dyke straight across on the north side of Portola right now, heading for Brewers Bay. Might as well film my demise. The plan ends up being for me to try to tie this sail down with a Thule strap, which has a heavy buckle on one end, and I thought, well, I can probably throw it around the boom and catch it on the other side. And as you can see, that plan fails miserably. I made 2 separate attempts at it, and in both cases it didn't work, and partially it didn't work because the wind speed was increasing by the minute, literally. And the time that this section of the video starts and ends, the wind speed went from probably 20 gusting to 25 to eventually a steady 30. There was a alarm set on the Raymarine chart plotter for high winds, for both apparent wind and true wind, and these alarms were going off seriously like every 5 seconds. It was the most annoying thing. Eventually we're able to disable those in the software, but I was feeling very uncomfortable with the way things were going. I didn't have a PFD on, I didn't have a harness, I wasn't tethered in, and I was getting bounced around a lot. It doesn't show on the video, because videos never really show how things look on the ocean in the way they really are. But I would say that, you know, this is an example of what not to do in a way, although we had to get the sail under control. And that was probably the most important thing in my mind at that moment, was to really get something. Eventually I end up having to climb the mast. There were little footholds on the sides of the mast that you're able to fold down, and I was able to get up on there and eventually get it under control, and everything was fine after that. But with just a reefed jib, and not even a big jib at that, a 95% jib reefed to maybe the second reefing point, we were carrying 7+ knots on a fairly close reach. It was crazy how strong the wind was. So we're very happy that this worked out well, but believe me, it was not a fun thing, and definitely something I prefer not to have to do in the future, but at least it worked out. Okay.
Good job.
I think it looks like it's going to go on the rocks, doesn't it?
I know, that's what it looks like. Being blown in by a sail.
We saw this a lot this year. It seems like it's the thing. Everywhere we went, we saw boats with their sails up, like an absolute reluctance or refusal to lower the sails, especially catamarans. We, in a couple of mooring fields, we saw cats that were on mooring balls with their mainsails up, all the time, overnight even. And I can't quite figure it out. What we have going on here is a cat that's being blown around on a red day mooring buoy that's probably a boat length or two off the rocks, and the boat is actually being spun backwards and driven backwards toward the island, and even through all this, you don't see any effort being made to correct the situation. The rudders are completely exposed. It's crazy.
At one point, I thought they were on the rock.
They might have been.
They were trying to be. What would you do if a huge octopus attacked us right now, Kevin?
Run below.
He must have been.
Feed Mike to him.
Any krakens?
Was a giant squid that make calamari.
That's good too. Do that. Have dinner for the rest of the week, and that's all. So here we are at Marina Key in Scrub Island. We have a slip over here in Scrub Island Resort starting at around noon. It's already past noon, but we're gonna have lunch at the Pussers here at Marina Key. here we are at Putzer's again. Second year.
It's hard, isn't it, to be like
And there's
halfway.
Trellis Bay and Beef Island. And the airport over there. Already lots of boats in there. I'm hoping that tomorrow we can find ourselves a ball with a full moon party.
That's right. You and I are going to go on a mission, aren't we? Yarr.
Walking through
Why that amuses me. I just
Marina Key.
but it does.
Because it's funny. That's
It's funny, that's why.
Hey, yes sir.
Hello.
All right. That's where we're headed next, over to Scrub Island.
That's a big deal.
So the key with these lines, always, is you have to go out and around the lifelines. Because otherwise, you have to hand it to them. You don't want the line coming up off and over that cable. The cable is called a lifeline.
Okay.
And so, basically, you go over first. One of us may ask you. Generally, don't throw the lines to avoid it. Try to hand it. I think he's just hidden behind this cat. I'm in neutral.
Forward. Yeah. Neutral.
Game plan. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Nice drive, as always.
So this was tricky getting in here, mostly because the wind is coming around, and here I'm facing pretty much dead upwind right now. It's coming around the point and creating an eddy in the marina, which we had last year. Last year we didn't have a bow thruster. This year the bow thruster really helped. I mean, it's a little bigger boat. Scrub Island Marina and pool and spa and everything else. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! I pretty much slipped in. Hi folks, you know, we talk a lot about, you know, crazy winds, and we did have some crazy sailing. There's no question about that, but the front that came through that hit us hit some other people a lot harder. Some of you know, anybody who's been following our channel, Monday Never, another video, another YouTube channel, Will and Kat over at Monday Never, have been one of our featured channels really since the beginning of our channel. They've had great videos out for a long time. They were crewing on 60+ foot Discovery yacht doing a transatlantic crossing here probably less than a month ago, and received a mayday call. They were crewing on the boat, and a family had lost the rudder on their boat, and they'd done all sorts of things to try to put out drogues to craft a temporary rudder, these types of things, and it just wasn't working. The waves and the swells, the winds were just too great, and the boat was completely uncontrollable. They eventually were forced to send out a mayday. A large freighter had responded, and the captain of their boat, the Tilly Mint, turned around and motored 88 miles in the wrong direction to get to the site. The efforts made by the captain is representing the owners of his boat, and yet he made the call to do this, I don't think you put the boat in danger in any way, but it's truly a heroic effort that was made. It's hard to watch that video. You really get to see the angst, the fear, the sorrow, all of it, because the family effectively was forced to abandon their home and their possessions, and so anyway, Will and Kat are collecting money to donate to the family. Here at Sailing 9000, we don't really ask our viewers for money. We have a patron account, but we don't have any patrons. But if you want to send some money to a worthy cause, I mean, that's the place to do it. I'll put the link up here following this little portion of the video. But I just wanted to make clear that this is the way it's done. It's truly the whole thing was exceedingly professional on the part of everybody involved, and there's so many opportunities to say, oh, my schedule, oh, I can't get there, it's too far. People's lives are in danger. You have to respond. So anyway, go over there and check that out. It's a sobering video. It really shows the not so great side of cruising, or at least what cruisers risk when they do cross oceans, small boats. But go do that and do whatever you can. try to send some cash their way if possible.